All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Shai by Hashem Kakadash. That's all praises to the world cause God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem in the name of Yahweh Shai in the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful life. Preaching this word of truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah, the great millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. And I'm going to get into this video. You're going to see Esau's getting hit with a reality check that there's no throne. Let me grab that real quick. Isaiah 47:1, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." And the virgin daughter of Babylon, right, is America. And who's the one that leads this place? So-called white men, the Edomites. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. But the Lord's taken away that seat of authority and rulership, and you see it in these Edomites. Now listen to what this old devil says.
I'm not going to tolerate that. You ain't going to talk to somebody like that. She's here to do a job and run a business. What she does is her business when it comes to this job. She can refuse service to anybody she chooses. And if you had a business, you do the same doggone thing. So you're not going to sit there and disrespect somebody like that. Do you understand me, sir? I'm not going to let it happen. That's why you're being trespassed. You don't call people punks because you don't like something. That's not how this goes.
That's
at
how
all.
it used to go.
Well, things ain't how they used
When I
to.
was a kid, that's where it used to go.
Oh, well, the things ain't how they used to be no more.
You got that right.
Well, maybe it's time to get with it.
I don't like the way it is.
Well, then don't shop here.
I didn't say I didn't like this. I
Well,
don't like the way, I don't
this
like
is
the
part
way
of that, and
things
I ain't going
are.
to stand here and argue that
This
with you.
newness of life, I don't like it.
Well, then there's a common denominator there, and it's you.
Long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me. I promise you, this wouldn't happen to me. I'd whooped all y'all.
What?
I said, long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me because I'd whooped all y'all.
Well, it ain't happening now.
I'm 81 years old.
Well, don't start talking like that, because
Yeah. He said, I don't like the way
this
it
is
is.
part of that. And I ain't going to
You know this demon.
stand here and argue that.
You know this demon sat there and he was part of many lynchings. He queued him up. That nigga was there with a pointy hat that covered his face. A fresh set of ropes. And the nigga had the matches and the gasoline to burn the cross when it was time. But you Edomites, man, your kingdom's falling, man. Like I read the scripture. It said on the ground there is no throne. The Lord is taking your ass out of rulership. And everything that you hold dear, that soft, that false sense of superiority, all that shit's being stripped away. And you're being shown to be a fucking child, 81 years old, bitching and complaining because he don't get to have it his way no more. You fucking piece of shit ass Edomites, man. This is Ezekiel 35 and 10. It says, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. And those two nations is talking about, right? It's talking about the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. Right? When you go up to Ezekiel 35:1, it tells you, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir was a dwelling place of the Edomites, a chief built dwelling place. So this is a prophecy against Esau, Edom. So the Lord said in verse 10, because I said these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and it says, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there. Right? Because how is the Lord there? Because the Lord has always been with his people. It didn't matter about the landmass. It only mattered about the people, because far before there was the land of Israel, there was a man named Israel. Right? And his children were considered the Israelites. It says, therefore, as I live, say Yahweh, I will even do according to my anger and according to mine envy, which thou hast used. I will even do according to thine anger. And it says, according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. You saw that, Nick. You saw the devil's face. You know damn well he was fixed whenever he did his dirt. Had his eyes looking at Jake, hunting their steps, putting him in a terrible position. It says, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And that's what's about to happen. The Lord is getting ready to judge you devils, man. Look, he can't even.
That week.
Look,
How this goes.
Look
At all.
at his face.
Well, things ain't how they used
Wow,
to.
the kid.
Look at
If
the
you had a
confusion.
business, you do the same doggone
Look at
thing.
the fucking confusion in that devil's
So
face.
you're not going to sit there and
Look at the confusion in his face, man. Let me get a screenshot of that, man. That's gonna be the.
disrespect somebody like that. What she does is her business when it comes to this job. She can refuse service to anybody she chooses.
You see his face? How dare you?
If you had a
son.
business, you do the same dog.
It's my God-given right to oppress them motherfucking niggas. That's how they think. That's how they think, man. And the Lord is taking that rulership position away. And as his sins get brought up more and more internationally, throughout the media, all the BS he's doing with the Northern Kingdom, with these deportations, all that shit's getting brought to the forefront, and the world is looking down at him even more, man. This Jeremiah 50 and start at 6. It says, "My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray." And who have been the shepherds of the Israelites for so long in this kingdom? Everybody that Esau set up. There's a movie called The Magical Negro, right? And in that movie, it shows you that every nigga that came up that got some notoriety in this kingdom, their special power was to what? To quell and to keep niggas docile to appease Edomites. And they showed all the big names in there. And that's what every one of these Jake that are notable, right? As far as Jake, because remember, Esau writes the history books. He gets to choose what niggas have a good name, has some type of notoriety. There's a reason why Nat Turner ain't taught in a positive light. But then you got people like Harriet Tubman, right? Brought up in a positive light. But when you look her up, it even tells you that she was a spy, an American spy. Why? Because she was working for Esau. Right? Every one of these niggas, Martin Luther King, that nigga was a known sellout. One of his dying words was what? I fear I've led my people into a burning house, because he knew that integrating and getting with Esau at the end of the day ain't gonna do shit for you Jakes. So our shepherds have caused us to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill, right? Meaning from large governments to small governments. That's what the mountain and the hill means, right? They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and Esau's been that main one. And their adversaries said, "We offend not." And that's what he said. That's what that devil was saying. Back in my day, we wouldn't have been like this. I don't like it. Because a nigga, a so-called spick or a Latino, a red-skinned Indian, ain't got no business in his mind talking back to an Edomite, a so-called white man. In his mind, he's God. He determines what's right and wrong, man. So, when he did all that shit, he said he didn't offend. He didn't go off not one bit, because they have sinned against Yahweh, right? In his mind, he doesn't offend because he knows that Jake's been going off. So in his mind, it's cool. These niggas is fucking up anyway. It says, because we have sinned against Yahweh, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Right? So they know that Jake is going off. They don't tell you where you going off. They just come against you and beat your ass down. Right? Amos 1 and 11. Amos 1 and 11. It says, Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4. And who are the Edomites? It says Esau is Edom. Who are the Edomites? The so-called white man today. And it's not because of his skin tone. It's due to his character. We know who he is. There's markers for Esau's, how do you say it? Personality traits, his spirit, that lets us know who the fuck he is today. And the so-called white man in mass matched that to a T. It says, thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So if he only fucked up 3 or 4 times, the Lord still wanted to let this nigga slide. Right? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword. And you know that old devil did that a lot in his day. And did cast off all pity. In his mind, why you gotta pity anybody? He's looking at this white dude that's serving him up a dish, and who knows, man? This white dude, cop might be Jake, and this Edomite old nigga, 81 years old, might be a fucking. Nah, he ain't Mike. He is a fucking Edomite. But he looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get on program, nigga. We supposed to be oppressing these motherfuckers. They're below us. That's how these Edomites think. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. And this nigga got an old hatred. He 81. That's an old fucking hatred. He kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the places of Bozrah. Right, so the Lord has a judgment to burn you devils up at the end of the day. Numbers 24. In 20 it says, you know what, I'm going to start at 18. It says, and Edom shall be a possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. So this is going to Esau's judgment. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, talking about Yahushai, and he shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, and Amalek is the chief tribe of Esau, Edom. Just like Judah is the chief tribe of Israel, Amalek is the chief tribe. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And that's going to be the judgment of you devils, man. Right? For what you've done to Jake, you touched the Lord's anointed, and the Lord is turning the whole world against you devils. He's even turning your own against you. There's a lot of Edomites that are tired of being shamed because of how other Edomites fucking operate. There's a lot. There is a lot. In their mind, like, you niggas can't get with programs. You can't fucking move wiser. You got to give us a bad name. So now they coming against each other. They don't really care about niggas. They just care about their own name. This is on Psalm 7 and 16. It says, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. And everything that this devil did, the Lord is bringing it on all you devils now, man. All right? And these Edomites think they're going to relive the glory days where they had one foot in Jake's ass and the other foot, right, down the nigga woman's throat, just oppressing us from head to toe. They think those days are about to come up, but the scriptures tell you, affliction shall not rise up a second time, man. The Lord ain't going to give you
I'm not gonna tolerate that.
the ability to sit here
You ain't gonna talk to somebody
and just keep fucking us up. That's at the end. That's at the end. We at the end of this, man. Lord willing, this edifying shalom.
like that.